because that was
that was a whole thing too.
Yeah, we just starting.
all right. Peace to the guys, man.
that was-
Skitz Pittz, Real Rap. Brother Trayvick, Sid
Yeah.
Breedster.
How y'all feeling? What up, man? Shit.
Feeling amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? Good vibes, good vibrations. What about y'all, man? How was the week?
Bless.
Bless.
How was your week, man?
Man, bro, I'm high on life right now.
How many puffs did you take?
I'm in a state of bliss. Just everything that's just going on in life right now.
That's lit. That's
I'm
lit.
feeling great.
So what is going on, if we may ask?
Just the space that I'm in my career. I know it seems things change so much from like 1 week to the next, but yeah, just things that are going on like behind the scenes, things that are going on with my situation and stuff like that. Things that I don't necessarily want to disclose yet, but
Right.
you know, I'm just in a great space. Feeling very creative, very motivated.
Okay. I feel that. What about you, Skitz?
I've been smooth, man. I've really been on like opposite side of music. Well, I've still been on the music, but I've been like work mode for sure. But you know, doing a lot of recording, a lot of planning for releases and things like that. So,
Okay.
you know,
I feel
just
that.
constantly pushing.
Nah, for real.
I've been doing a lot of that too. Planning, getting ready for these drops.
Getting ready to drop, you know what I'm saying? Same here. I've been trying to keep it up, you know. Stick to some deadlines, execute as best I can, gather all the content, stuff like that. So, okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything happened this week.
I mean, it's been eventful, but yeah.
Oh, I got some footage for a video that I may not be able to use. But
Why?
'Cause I'm just a horrible on-the-go cameraman. I tried to do like this VHS thing, and it just
Didn't come out how you imagine.
Just get back to the gym and put some more shots up, fam. Whoever he's talking about. You said you got some footage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's the one who shot the footage.
Oh, you shot it yourself.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
Not the person.
I was like,
He's the fam.
No, I'm the fam.
I was
He
like,
needs to get
I was
more
like,
shots
dang,
in.
bro, just put it out so blatantly. The footage, man, you know it wasn't. I'm like,
If you're watching
Not
this,
Chris.
it's too late.
dang.
Not Chris.
I didn't think it was Chris. How you just said it so openly, but I'm like, dang,
Nah.
whoever.
But Chris, how you feeling, bro?
Facts.
I'm always chilling. I live a boring lifestyle.
Nah, man, exciting, man.
You say your little boring lifestyle.
Nah.
I live a boring lifestyle.
My
so-
man's Chris, he get a new camera edition every week talking about he live a boring lifestyle.
Man, I think he sell drugs, but you know what I'm saying?
Just bought this new lens. Can't wait to try it.
$7,000. Can't wait to try it.
That's a pretty, exciting life to me.
Nah, for sure.
But how we living, man? What we talking about on this episode 6? Still rolling.
Trayvick,
Man,
what you got?
staying locked in, man. I think that sums up what we all kind of were talking about, what we've been on.
Staying locked in.
What you mean by that?
One, I think it's just staying present and being like knowing what you want to do and being able, anything. If it's all like it's multiple things that's going on, it's gonna be mad things like that come up to try to pull you out of what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we gotta stay locked in.
Do you believe in like multitasking?
Multitasking.
Yeah, because you said doing like a lot of other things will come up. So do you think like is it hard for a person or people, whatever, to multitask if a lot of things are at hand, or like should a person not multitask and just do one thing?
I don't know I think multitasking can be a bit of a misconception, because if you have multiple things you want to get done, but you just doing multiple steps to those things. I think I think that's just execution at a high level if you can do it. Because you have to be able to do one at a time, even if they're separate things. Like we make music, but we also work. We also have families and friends that we obligate ourselves to. So it's like being able to execute everything simultaneously.
No, I got you. I'm just asking.
I don't know.
I call it juggling. You gotta be an excellent juggler. Cause like when it comes to multitasking, I feel like, kind of like what you said. Like I don't believe in multitasking, cause I feel like that's how like, you don't give 100% in like each area. But I do believe in doing one thing at a time. Just like when you juggling, you only really like, well, you catching two, but in one hand, you only catching like one at a time. You know what I'm saying? So, but the other ones be in the air depending on how much you juggling. So I like to call it like you got to be an excellent juggler out here, because life don't stop. Like you say, you got to work, still got to hustle, got to, vibe with the loved ones. You got to do this, got to do that. Watch your shows. If you do that, then you got to have a little relaxation time. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But you said just staying locked in amongst all of that.
Yeah, which can be difficult for sure. I find myself battling that at times.
What you think, Sid?
I think that's where plans come in handy. Goals, writing your stuff down and, holding yourself to that. I think that's, that helps when staying locked in.
Nah, for sure. And using the tools that's available too, because there's a lot of stuff out now that can help you, like stay locked in. I was having this argument with a homie about like our phones and like how he was saying like everybody's controlled by their phones and whatnot, which as like a bad thing, which it can be for sure. But I was like, if you control the phone, you can let the phone tell you, you can use that phone to help you with certain things like scheduling and shit like that. But then that went down a whole like rabbit hole of AI. So.
AI taking over the world. Yeah. Automation is
AI
key.
has taken over the world.
Yeah, but so staying locked in, do you think it has anything to do with commitment and consistency? Like, do you think that's something that does a person have to be committed and consistent in order to be locked in, or can they just
be consistent,
kind of just pass it along and kind of like be locked in? Like are they like, does a person have to be extremely focused in like, this is what I'm doing to stay locked in, or is it like, so for instance, if a person got a job, right, they might not like this job, but they go to this job every single day. So do they, like, is this something that a person like should be proud of, or something like they want to do in order to stay locked in? I'm just asking, like, just expanding on the topic of what you saying.
What you got, son?
I think anyone should feel pleased with themselves for staying locked in, even if let me add on to that, to what I'm saying. As long as the outcome is positive, right, and you're working towards something positive, something good, something healthy, then I think anyone should be pleased with themselves if they staying locked in. Because to me, that shows a level of discipline. Staying committed, like you said, to a job that you may not necessarily want to work, but it's for a better outcome in the end. Like, I don't see anything negative towards that, unless it gets to a place where, your staying locked in turns into you being stagnant.
I got you. All right, so with music, right? Let's take it to music. So how does a person stay locked in if they got nothing else is working in their life, but they want to stay locked in with music, but they not making no money, You know what I'm saying? So they got to think about that.
They're not making no money through music or just in life in general.
So like, but they passion is music. So how can a person who dealing with something like that stay locked in? Like they, you know, got car trouble, like looking for jobs, like behind on bills, but they passion is music.
If your passion is music, then, well, really whatever your passion is, you know, you should stay committed to that no matter what. No matter what you're going through, because the end of the day, like if you love it that much, even if you're not making a penny from music, you still gonna do it no matter what you're going through. As a matter of fact, that might be your outlet or your therapy. You know, why are you going through those things? It just depends on what, you know, on each person. Each scenario is gonna be different, but
you saying how
yeah, how do they navigate? How does a person navigate by staying locked in? I know Sid said like planning, you know, that's part of it. Writing things down, setting goals, but
I'm speaking to the person that don't have no money.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You're not always gonna be able to record. You're not always gonna be able to afford the beat. You're not always gonna be able to record, or afford, you know, someone being able to mix your song or whatever it is, but again, if you that passionate about it and you staying locked in with it, then
I think
at least bare minimum you can at least create.
Yeah, that's the bare minimum for sure. But you
gotta
figure
locked in to me.
Huh?
I said all that is a part of staying locked in.
That was definitely a part.
If you can't record, but you write a song every day for the next year, like that's staying locked in. It's staying polished.
Yeah.
Well, that's different though. When I think of locked in, I just mean like if this person is going through all these things and because at some point they wasn't going through all these things, right? Or
maybe,
they were,
shit,
or
maybe.
they always been.
I was about to say, bro, what? I hate when, bro.
Maybe they've been going through this shit they whole
and say
life.
that maybe they have, and I want to see where Trayvick gonna go with this. Say they haven't always been going through this. They just started going through it. Now take us where you were going with it.
I'm saying so like, but they had a goal in mind when it came to this music, right?
Did he even say that part either?
That's what I mean. What is you staying locked in on? If what is your goal with this music?
So music,
you gotta have some.
I said that too. You have to have goals to stay locked in. But what is this? You know.
So my question was, how do they navigate with all of that stuff like happening now?
The stuff standing in their way.
Yeah,
standing in their way to getting locked in to getting where?
Just get into a successful point in music, whatever. However they define success to themselves. Like that could be anything. They want to be doing consistent local shows. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, that's a different question.
You know what I'm saying?
Than what was asked. I mean, I'm glad you expounded.
But I mean,
because we do gotta know.
I could get specific.
Asking,
we could paint a picture of some imaginary guy here.
Like anything is staying locked
paint
in.
a picture. Call him.
Call
him Joe or something.
Yeah.
Bob.
So this guy Joe here, you know what I'm saying?
Give us specifics, bro.
He's a aspiring artist.
Okay.
Things are hard at home. He
Right.
not making no money. He don't got no job.
Okay.
But he do work on the app. He do those type of things. But he do it whenever. So he make a little cash. He behind on bills. He don't got no skills to go get a real type of job.
Does he have skills in rap?
But he got skill. I was about to come to it, but he got skills in rapping.
So how did
on a scale of 1 to 10?
Now I feel like
on a scale from 1 to 10, he J. Cole. My bad for the name drop.
oh, he's a 10?
He's a 10. And
but he ain't got the bread.
He ain't got the bread.
But he really this the
But
only
how
thing
he-
this the
very
only
nice.
thing he want to do.
He need to turn it up.
But he's
bro.
suffering. Cause look, this where it come in. This real life scenario. Cause look, all of this stuff.
Oh my
But look,
God,
all of this stuff, bro. It's so many people. Let's say he got a little bread to continue, but he not seeing his work reciprocate. Right? It ain't coming fast enough. Every time he come around, he got to pay another bill, and the rap ain't coming. He put money in the videos. When he do get cash, he put money in this. How long does Joe stay locked in?
I know Joe. listen, rework your plan. Because that's part of staying locked in. Okay, you thought you had a plan. You locked in. You doing this. It's not working.
But how long you know until it don't work?
That's what I was
Because
just
it's
about to
not
say.
working.
I was just about to say that. What is not working?
You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Okay,
it just ain't work yet.
See, and this is one of those situations where
There's
it's
a thing of forward progression and stagnant. So you should be able to see it.
yeah, but you can be stagnant in certain places, or it appears that way, but you're making progress overall. See, that's the thing. Like, you kind of got to be careful with that too, because again,
But that's
like,
because you're not locked in.
But see, I'm really playing both sides right now. But it's really it's like the law of averages. So I could disagree with you there because you never know. Like I could talk to 100 people and they all tell me no. So at 98, 90, 89, anywhere there, I could have said, man, this ain't working. But if I would have talked to 10 more people and one said, all right, yeah. So
Okay, stay locked in and realize why that one person said yes.
But what
So
if
you
it's
don't
the
go
same,
to
what if it's the
100
same
more
pitch?
people.
Cause look, bro.
why would you have to go to 100 more people?
Because you still trying
There's
to get
one
more than
person-
one yes.
There's one yes, just
But
change your
sometimes you
life.
just need that one yes.
That's what I'm saying. If we building a make believe, we all knew where he was going with that one yes is the one yes you needed.
No, bro.
That's
No.
it. How many yeses?
You don't need one yes to change your life sometimes.
That one yes leads.
That's
to
what
the
we
other
gonna do?
yes.
In any field, in any way, like you don't need one yes.
Let's get into
Sure,
it.
sure.
That's why I want. No, we can't have no sure.
Sure. You
I'm
can
a-
get one
I'm here to
yes,
start a-
but that ain't that's not one yes doesn't help
Not
stay
success.
locked in. It don't breed longevity. Especially if you didn't study of why the yes worked or why the yes happened.
He can study. We ain't say that he didn't.
That's what
But-
I'm saying. Like we
but
all
that's
just
what
we
I
all
just-
just throwing our own scenario together at this point.
I brought up and said you got to rework your plan if you like.
But that's
you
what I'm
just
saying.
Joe, money is messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Having a hard time maintaining the actual consistency of what he's doing, right? And staying locked in. So we talking to Joe, yo, how do you stay locked in? One, always be reworking what you're doing, because whether we know it or not, that's what our brain does anyway. But if you locked in on how your brain works, then you're gonna be actively doing it.
It just
But
depends,
I
man.
mean, that's what I'm
It's
saying. I feel like
It would be insanity to continue to do like if like even for example, because I was Joe and I've been Joe or can still be considered Joe at a certain time when it comes this guy Joe, not fucking Joe, but
whoever said it, he just can't get enough.
we
bro.
know it's Joe.
no.
He just
I'm
can't
just
get
talking
enough.
But so with that, it's like, and there's things I had to do to rework, whether it was my recording process. When I first started, I was recording on a hardboard, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could have stayed in Ohio and doing the same thing for however long, but no, I left, reworked my plan. I'm come to a different state, learn how to do what I'm actually doing, and then I reworked it from there. So like that's how you stay locked in, is reworking what you're doing to get more yeses when you're
That's
going through
one
the
way
averages.
to stay locked in.
Yeah, because I mean, I agree with that aspect, but I don't think, because you never know when you got to rework. It's like you think about anything that's sold. Like if this is the final product, like that's it. So they gonna have it on the shelf. Some people gonna walk by forever and never get it, but some people gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna give you
See,
I'm
when
gonna
we
give
go
you an
there, I can
example
use
of it.
that.
I'm gonna give you an example of a
you
different
say
Joe.
you can't use it.
No, I'll use it. Go ahead. I'm gonna use
Yeah,
what
because
you
I'm
said.
gonna give you an example of a different Joe, because like for me, what am I trying to say? My bad, that just threw me off. Like for me, staying locked in was, again, that's why I gave that example. Staying focused on my craft, you know, staying polished, staying in the studio night and day. We know this. We all were there, like, but staying in the studio night and day for a matter of years.
Yeah.
To the point where that's for me, right? That was my goal and what staying locked in looked like to me. See, everyone's path is gonna be a little different. Brother Trayvick is very strategic. I love that about him. Like, he maps things out. I may not take that approach, but we on the same journey, like taking different paths, different roads to get there. But for me, my journey was staying locked in. That looked like being in the studio more than anybody I could think of at that point in my life. Nobody. I can't think of one person that was in the studio more than me at that point. So that's what staying locked in looked like to me. Getting a certain amount of songs out every day. And when, opportunity meets, opportunity meets time. Preparation. And it was that. And it was time for me to get that one yes or whatever. Me staying locked in and all the work I had put in and all the songs and everything and the relationships and the energy. And it was the right time. And that's what staying locked in looked like to me. Not even necessarily having a plan to say, even the Atlanta plan is probably way more strategic than mine. Like, my Atlanta plan didn't consist of all. My Atlanta plan was, bro, I'm moving to Atlanta, and
but look,
I'm an engineer or whatever, and like.
But look, you still reworked your plan.
What you mean?
Because if the plan was to stay locked in by just recording every day, like as much as you were,
I didn't plan to do that. I didn't say, man, you know what, I'm gonna be in the studio this amount of days. Again, I'm not advocating for people to not put a plan together.
I don't even want to say. I don't want to even use the word plan, but like rework your idea of what you're trying to get done. That's really what I'm trying to say. Like like if
sometimes,
at one point,
sometimes they can change though. A lot of times they'll change.
What?
Just your idea, or like you said, we don't want to say plan, but just whatever.
But that's what I'm saying.
Rework. Your plan was.
Rework. That's what I'm saying though.
So when you say rework it, you saying change it, or revise it.
Revise or rework with. I mean, that's the same. Basically the same thing.
Revise.
But like, if your plan or if your goal is this, like Joe, and you going through all of these things, staying locked in and understanding, okay, well, I've been doing this for however long, and let me rework it to continue to get to this same point. So what that looked like for you prior to being locked in the studio at that time was different before then, and even slightly different now. You probably still in the studio. You said, is it just as much as it was back then?
Not even close. Exactly.
So, because there's other things that you're reworking now that are different.
Maybe it's when you say rework.
Yeah, rework
That's
to me.
Because
I feel like, but
you're reworking it now.
Because sometimes, like I made a thing about
that's just
how
the brain work though.
But it don't have to work like that. It don't.
When you all right, I'll use it.
When I hear rework,
nah, it don't, because bro, the other side of the fence. Like, you was about to say something about insanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results. We've all heard that, right? But it's another saying about the bamboo tree. A person has to water this tree for like
5 years.
5 years and nothing happens.
For sure, but you gotta know it's a bamboo tree.
But you don't.
It's gotta be a bamboo.
How do you know
it gotta be a bamboo tree? It gotta be a bamboo tree.
But how do you know you're not a bamboo tree? You water it for 5 years, and everybody like, bro, you need to revamp your plan. You need to put different water on it. You need to not water it every day. But he like, bro, I'm going to water it the same way every single day. And then on the 5th year, this shit sprouts up higher than any tree. So you can't say.
Tag me in, Skitz. I just got to get this in there, and then I'm done. And you can rock out, Trayvick. Look.
That all goes into the.
Look. This is why I was saying.
That ain't a revamp, though.
This is why I was saying.
Go ahead, continue.
Like I said, man, I'm here to
stir it.
It's cool.
This is why I'm urging people out there to do the things that are within your power, right? You staying creative, you cooking a song a day, even if you can't, physically record that song, but just writing it, whatever. Even if you're not writing it, just taking the time out to be creative within hip hop every day, whether that's freestyling, whether that's you writing in your head, whether that is you actually writing, whether that's you just sitting with a beat, something. Like, no matter what your circumstance is, we can all do these things. And this is free of cost. Now granted, there's mental, stability and things to think of, you know, when it comes to that. You know, if your situation at home is jacked up, it may be kind of hard to, you know, be creative. So I get that. But again, you know, these are the things that are within our power. So that's what I would urge people when they kind of like staying locked in. I mean, we can, come on, bro.
I mean, I agree.
Bro.
Can I just, I agree with Sid.
No. Listen.
Let's
I agree with Sid.
Let's get into it.
I was about to say.
What I'm saying as far as the bamboo tree thing, right? Because no, you're not finna use that.
Why?
Because one, you got to know the inner workings of yourself to be able to determine if you're a bamboo tree.
How you gonna tell them they not no bamboo tree though? That's racist.
And then on top of
determine the inner workings within yourself, bro. Everybody is a bamboo tree. Yes,
no,
they are.
No, everybody ain't no bamboo tree. Some motherfuckers grow.
This is a me and he didn't understand the concept.
Bro, no,
he didn't understand the
some
concept
people sprout,
of the bamboo tree.
Some people sprout off of nothing. I mean, I'm saying not without water and stuff. I'm saying people.
Thank you. So
some people, bro.
Let's use Trayvick analogy. So someone woke up one morning and they just were.
But I'm pretty sure the tree that they came. Look.
What are you talking?
You said
if they
you
did,
said off, you said they started off nothing.
But if they did, I'm pretty sure.
I'm saying
their life is off is if your parents have it,
and that's the fruit of the tree, of the bamboo tree that took.
No, bro, that's a different type of tree, nigga.
You gotta be the plant that your village needs. Sometimes your village can't wait on the bamboo. You might need to be a blueberry.
That's true too.
So,
but my point, Chris.
That's my point.
It still take a little water though.
My point, Chris.
I'm not saying it don't take no water,
but
it takes different.
Look, Chris. Look. The point of the bamboo tree wasn't everybody is gonna take 5 or 10. For some people, that bamboo, it may be 2 years. For some people, it's gonna be 13 months. You see what I'm saying? But
right. But But you have to know what you are.
But how do you know?
Thank you.
One, you go within. We know that answer.
But even still,
but also be reworking the inner workings. So if I've been in Idaho, if I've been in Idaho doing the same thing for 10 years, maybe I should go to somewhere else. Because it's not working.
Start all over.
That's why I love Skitz. Maybe you should, but maybe on that 11th year,
right? You would have hit
everything that you imagine.
They're like, yo, what happened to what's the name? What happened to Joe? He was, I don't know, because I know people.
And that's not so much looking within. To me, if we go to your analogy, that's market research and all that types of stuff to determine if after 10 years.
That's inner workings, bro. I'm not talking about just internally. It's just me on your brand or what you are or what you're doing. Because it's like, we are plants and we need consistent things to grow something. But some people like just creating is one element.
I was about to say
it's one element. One element. And that's the only element you spoke of. There's a multitude of things that you did to stay locked in outside of just creating.
But what's bigger than just creating?
That's true. Yeah, give them some of that.
Because as creators, I think creating is what gives a creator the most life. Like, I agree with Sid because, like, my stand locked in was, like, similar. Like, I stayed in the studio, like, all the time. And I always worked on my craft, like, regardless of anything. If I ain't have no money to shoot a video at the time, or I could think about some plans, but I can't really do nothing about it right now. But I'm going to make sure my rap and my verse and my performance and my projection is on point. So whenever, anytime it come, like, I'm going to be fire. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to show the talent and things like that, I'm going to be it. So just working on myself overnight, every night, the same thing, write a song. I feel like that's consistency. Like I said, some people be like doing the same thing and expecting something different is insanity. I think that goes when it's talking about slacking or not doing anything. But if you're doing something, it's just like chopping that tree. I think we made that analogy at some point. You chopping the tree, bro, you chop it 1,000 times, but it ain't fell yet. Does that mean you got to go get a bulldozer? Like, it's almost there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it ain't moved yet. Ain't nothing changed, but
that, I mean,
it's the same.
It's not, like, because you can, when it comes to that, one, you've already checked that you have a tool that will get the job done.
But who's this? That's what I'm saying. Like, who's to say?
Who's to say that we could know that it's
We-
getting the job
you-
done, but someone could perceive it. The person who swung at that tree 100 times may perceive it as, man, this thing ain't doing nothing.
Bro, it's so many analogies when a person is digging the gold, the diamond thing, when they digging,
Right.
they turn around. Like,
around.
it's so many, and they was doing the same thing. So I feel like same things are sometimes the right thing. Like, just because it ain't worked yet don't mean it ain't. I ain't saying do dumb things, but if you doing something that's like, if you going to shows, like if you just doing whatever, like hitting shows every single night. You going to
Yeah, but
Freestyle Fridays or something every single week. You've been doing
Something's
it for
gonna
6
come from
months.
it, bro.
Yeah. Eventually, something is going to happen, bro. You just keep going. I feel like consistency is the biggest thing on staying locked in. And making sure your craft is on point. It ain't always about, oh, I got to rework it. Because you reworked it. Like, bro, we really like the first version. And now you done reworked it to the fourth version. And we not really feeling this at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it's...
I think you take a rework is like,
But even a plan, though,
I mean,
feel them. Even changing, like sometimes you just got
'Cause
to
we-
bro, if you went
get to it.
if you had a plan and you did something and it did not work, because there are moments when you see this is not working.
But see, check this, right?
But hold on one
The,
second.
the original question was
that's-
somebody don't even have money.
In general, bro, it's just like it's like cold calling, bro. Like you reading a script, and one person is gonna be like, all right, yeah, I'll do
But
that.
those scripts are designed.
But it's still the same script. You could deliver it different, but it's the same
bro.
script.
I was in that industry.
I was too.
Also, and what they tell you and what you learn is using that same script in different ways to get a yes.
But did you
What's this-
rebrand it? Like
Yo,
you doing
yo,
the
yo,
same
yo.
thing?
Hold on.
Oh.
Hit R. Something came up.
I mean, you didn't rework it though.
It was still going.
You might have presented it in a different manner,
Right.
but I don't think you
Still hit
changed the format
So
of.
go back.
We still lit.
What are you saying?
Yeah,
All
we
right.
good.
Oh, but I don't think we changed the format. I think it's your words. I think it's your words that throw me off sometimes. Trivictual.
I agree.
Bro, that was the worst way.
Because you
could
talking about
nickname it.
reword. Or what you say, rework.
Because ultimately, like,
Sometimes you do got to rebrand. I said that. I partially agree
I'm
with
not
you.
even saying
Sometimes
rebrand,
you do
though.
gotta
he ain't saying
recreate
rebranding.
yourself.
He's saying just basically,
Rework a plan that ain't
he's
work.
saying rework, but
Adapt.
basically work.
Adapt.
Yeah, he not even saying rework
Rework
the
and
same
adapt.
plan.
I'm using.
Maybe evaluate is a better.
In other words, he's saying keep after your plan, basically, which is what we.
But it's just so strong with the rework. It's like if that ain't worked, well,
reiterating
it's
your
trial
plan.
and error too. But I feel like
My thing is, I don't want no confusion on the words, Trayvick. What I was trying to tell people is that
What does rework
bare
mean?
minimum, you can stay creative.
just stay creative. I think that's
It's
the
how you
biggest
can
thing,
stay
bro.
locked in. We're
think-
talking about staying locked in.
I think that's the biggest thing.
People
just
will quit.
staying in that energy.
All
of
three of
creativity.
us, all three of us, have seen people. We know people in these studios that we know personally that have quit
and just
on
started
this
doing
shit
something
and
else.
started doing. So when again, I'm speaking to those people, right? When he's talking about staying locked in, like if you can even just keep your love for it, you can stay locked in. But if you lose that, man, there's nothing a plan gonna do for you. It's over with.
Bro, some people create, and that's all they do, but don't do nothing else.
But I
It
think
also
that
go back
can't
to
get you
Skitz's
nowhere.
version of what success is.
Yeah.
If this person is cool with being the best rapper or the best singer or the best artist that's ever walked this planet, and they know talent wise that they have that, then maybe they're successful.
and they locked in.
There's a way to stay locked in without having money. Is all I think.
Ain't
me
nobody
and
talking
Skitz
about
are
having money. Staying locked in on the vision, whatever that is, and what you're doing. That's what we're talking about.
That's not what he was talking about. But
That's not what we're talking about.
what may yeah right. I'm just saying,
The
like,
the
maybe-
screen
maybe
off
it's
too.
kinda-
Doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah, but that's where we at with it. Like if Joe got a vision,
Yeah, you
Just-
never answered that question about how does he stay like that. Oh yeah, you say he got to rework it,
I mean, because
I'm just like, how do you
figure
do
that
that with
shit
no
out.
money?
figure it out.
Oh,
With
well,
With no money and
well,
having,
the first
a lot,
pro-
and
the
having
first-
a lot going on
the
in your
first
life too.
problem is Get the money.
You can't. So let's talk about that.
The first problem is
because y'all know I love to have these talks.
How we
because
get
I
the
hate
money?
to say it because it always comes back to the money, bro. That's the point. Now, if you want to talk about telling the artist how to get money, then we can do that. But I'm going off an artist that has no money.
Okay.
That is screwed up at home. That's why this person might be having mental issues and all that at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we talking about reworking a plan. Some people ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Some people might not even have access to the. I'm talking them like us when we didn't have nothing. When I didn't have nothing, bro, all I had was creativity. When I had nothing, on them days when you would come in the studio and give your boy a slice of pizza because I ain't have nothing to eat that day. I didn't have no resources to rework a plan then, bro. All I had was creativity and drive, bro. That's it.
Right, but at some point,
literally.
But at some point, after staying locked in creating, you had to figure out those basic things.
I feel like, and this is gonna sound so cliche, but y'all know my story, so it's, bro. I feel like it was God. Like, bro,
I mean, that's not cliche though.
But it's so true though. You know what I'm saying? I say it sounds cliche because like, oh, it just it's. You know what I'm saying, bro? I just stayed creative. I just stayed creative and kept working, bro, and just kept showing up and kept with my drive. Now, if we call that a plan, but that's all I had was staying after my art until God said, "Nah, I'm gonna put you in the right room or around this person that you're supposed to be around, or you're gonna meet this person, and this person's gonna introduce you to this person, or whatever." But that was it. I didn't have a plan. I couldn't have planned that.
My saying has always been make plan A, or plan B is make plan A work. So not
Type
even
of
like
vibe.
just stick, like just keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting better. I mean, I could say that. You keep getting better every day. You know what I'm saying? But
And that comes with the creativity.
yeah.
You know, that comes with, when you're talking staying locked in, man, that's what I'm saying. It's a momentum thing to me, too. Just someone staying after it and feeling themselves get better. You know you're getting better. It's getting easier. You're getting faster. You getting, all these things are what come with, you know, a lot of times, you know, are what come with sticking, you know, staying with something and doing it consistently over and over again.
That's what I believe in. Just doing this, you know, repeat.
But
rinse
it's,
and wash,
but something to you. Number one, you're not doing anything the same every time. So
But
Yeah, I
you're
was
not
thinking that earlier,
reworking.
too. I meant to
you
say that.
are, even if it's subconscious, you are reworking it. If you go out in the gym and shoot the same shot
But
every
see-
time, your form changes.
But I don't know. It's just that
It's
word
gonna change.
reworking it.
I was thinking that, Chris,
Like,
can
you
we
could
get a
get-
word check on,
I feel like you could
a
get
word check on
better
reworking?
because it's almost like
Definition
revamp.
check.
Revamp means to like go back
No,
in.
it's not
That's damn near the
revamp.
same
Is like
word.
revamp. It's not. It's not
Hey, y'all, hold for definition check. This will kill all that.
definition.
It might not even be a word since it's a re in front
Right.
to do over.
Right. And
What's
you trying to tell us it's not that. No, rework just means, you know, keep working it. Like, it sounds like you saying rework it.
An altered or revised version of something.
I mean, that's revised. Is
Re-
revised the same as revamp?
It's not.
Can we get a? Come on, man.
They
I
in
do
the
words.
same. They're probably synonyms. Revise and revamp.
I
Okay.
do words,
Regardless, you don't sit there and do the same. Like, bro, even when you, it's simple as a basketball shot.
But let's talk about weights. You just keep pushing the damn weights, you gonna get strong.
But what do? You
might add some more weight, but it's
so that's an
adding-
altered
that's-
plan. That's altered.
That's not.
It's
Is that altered?
alteration.
It is
yes,
altered
it's
slightly,
altered.
but my thing is, but now I got.
It's not revised,
because I
though.
feel
It's
Skitz
not
too though,
revised.
It
bro. If you
is.
add,
You just getting
hold on,
better.
Skitz, if you add not a single weight to that, bro, you're not gonna pay me to believe you ain't getting stronger.
You not,
Every day.
You're not
You
going
are.
to.
You're not
You
getting
might not
no
get- you
strong.
might
If
not
you don't
get
change
big.
nothing about your workout plan,
Yo, Chris,
and it's the same.
If you
consistently,
do,
will
if somebody
you will-
get up and do 25, we'll say 100,
25 push-ups a
100
day.
push-ups every single
That nigga
day,
getting strong,
They not
bro.
getting stronger.
he will plateau out somewhere. He will flatline
Oh,
at
my
a certain point and will
goodness.
not get bigger
That's
Did we
facts, though.
say bigger or stronger?
or stronger.
But what
I
if
don't
that's as
believe
big
that.
as he wants to get?
You gonna plateau eventually.
I don't believe that.
I mean, I could.
Think about
That's
what
just
makes your
numbers.
muscles bigger though. You got to
But look,
push to failure and tear muscles, but if your muscles is
not being teared anymore.
But,
Not
all
being
right, but
torn,
look,
not getting
So they're
big.
not being
But
torn
wait,
no
wait.
more because why?
But look,
because your
Because they're so
body's
used
got
to
he
doing
not,
that.
he not
because
adding
they've
more
already
weight.
grown
But
to
look,
that point.
even if
Are
that
they
is-
not adding
even-
more weight,
but
Skitz?
if that-
What if this
but
person
look, if you do add
gained
more
weight?
weight, if you do add more weight, is that a revision? I don't think that's a revision. I think that's
reworking.
an addition, which is two totally different
Oh,
things,
okay, I
which
see
is
what you're
making
saying.
it better. I don't think
I see what you're
adding more
saying.
weight is a revision.
It's changing
I
it.
think
Doing a
me
different
going,
type
right,
of lift
doing a
would
different
be
thing.
okay, I see what you're
Oh,
saying.
I ain't gonna do this. I'm gonna do Pilates now. You have revised your
Or instead
workout.
of push-ups, I'm gonna do like
pull-ups.
chest press or something. Yeah,
But
pull-ups
even in
or
the
something. I see
same,
what
it's
you're
all in the same category of working out. So it's like that's not a really.
But if your goal in working out is to lose weight and tone up, you start working out and with no idea of how to get there, and you just start working out, you're gonna get a different result, and you're gonna be like, yo, you don't even know what your result is. Number one, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So now you have to work it out and understand.
But that doesn't mean that
what
you're
your goal
not
is.
still working towards.
But you have to figure out
goal.
if you don't know if you're not gonna be working towards that goal. If you're doing a workout, right? If you have a workout plan that is for bodybuilding and beefing up, right? But you don't know this, and you plan on toning down and losing weight, bro, your plan is wrong. So you have to rework it because now I'm gaining weight. I'm doing all this extra shit. I'm trying to tone down. Now you have to rework. You can't be consistent in that because
but
you're
that's
going
a
to be going in the
subtract.
wrong
See,
direction.
that's almost. I think rework and revise almost goes to the word subtraction more than addition, and I think that's the thing. Like, so if you still eating the same amount
It's
of foods,
both.
but you can't subtract and add at the same time unless you got what's the thing called? But you still can only do them one at a time. PEMDAS at
Please
one
excuse my
time
dear
But-
from the side. You know what I'm saying?
But that's reworking.
and my man's is a math teacher. Right?
But that's reworking what you're trying to get.
You working the same problem. You're not reworking anything. You haven't reworked anything.
Yo, if you trying to, okay, let's do it.
Leave the word alone, bro.
Nah, let's do it. Let's do a math problem. If being successful at this equals X, right? And the only way to get to X is, or one of the ways.
it's only
to get to
one
X.
way to get to X.
No, it's multiple ways to get to X.
What are we doing? Are you?
I'm waiting on it.
You building an equation?
I was about to, but then
Go
you kinda
ahead.
just like,
It's
I
really
can't
only
wait to
one
hear
way,
this.
and then we could move on to the
he
next
says only one way. What?
to get to X.
Which is what?
A plus B equals X. X is on the other side and equals, and you write out.
Okay, A plus B
You
equals
literally
X.
can't solve that. A better equation would be y
Thank you.
plus change equals x.
But is it
Thank you.
always
Yeah,
going to
okay.
be
Y
what
plus-
equals X?
Y plus change
That's
equals
just
X.
not a good scenario, because it equals the X is always going to be on the other side of the equal. So it's not a rework. It's not any of that. Like that's just like we can't
Okay.
do that. With,
All right.
do another.
To continue to do the same thing assumes that you are going to get X every time you do A plus B.
You will whatever X equals.
But you don't even know
you know
half
once
the
you get-
time.
you know once you
so
get what you
so
got.
so based off of what y'all saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
X is staying locked in. Creativity. Basically, you can take creativity plus creativity and equal staying locked in.
Creativity and consistency.
Yeah, plus consistent.
Creativity
consistency.
plus consistency.
And you don't have
stay
to
locked in.
revise or rework that.
So
I think
what,
you can add
what
on
is,
to it. Add on to creativity. If I'm only writing out, well then tomorrow I start recording it. And then the next day I start releasing some songs on SoundCloud. And then the next day I start recording
that
myself.
sounds like you're reworking it.
That's not reworking. That's an addition. Can you see the correlation between addition and rework? I think rework is a subtraction because you starting over, like you revising something.
You
It's
trying to
like,
get- you
wait,
trying to
a
get to X.
revision is I wrote out this contract. It's trash. I ball it up and start over and write a whole different contract. So that's a subtraction, and then
I mean, you could use some of the things that aren't
yeah,
that
I
are in
could,
there.
But that's a big thing. Revision to me is very big versus an addition. Hey, we got this thing.
But
for you,
revision,
but we added
revising
this
is
on the
adding
bottom.
and subtracting.
Look, no, but that's
Yes,
what
reworking.
that's exactly what I said. It's
He did
adding
say
and
that.
subtracting. That's what I said.
is adding and
But you
subtracting.
don't have to subtract necessarily. That's what I think.
I'm not saying.
But it's the word.
I'm not constraining reworking to just adding and
But
subtract.
you
to just
holding it
subtraction.
down for the word reworking right now.
That's
And all
what
I'm
you are,
saying
though.
is, you don't. That's sometimes let me say this. Sometimes they might have to rework their plan, But that is not the end all be all. Like, nigga, you better go in the house and ball that shit up and right.
That's what I was trying to say.
But you saying
That's
ball
how
You
you
teeter in
giving
the
it,
line
though.
of not even
No.
knowing if you want to do this anymore.
bro.
That's how it's coming
Listen,
off.
Slow it down.
Listen.
Get you a good writing session in.
Update, I think, are the same thing.
Reworking the update is
What
not
if
the
I don't
same.
want to do this anymore? Or I'm
You don't-
thinking about it.
Stay locked in.
Rework.
All
All right,
bro.
all right. Look. But hey man,
But
if
what
you don't
I'm
want to
saying-
do this no more, then go back into your brain
'Cause-
and see why the fuck you feel like
Bro,
this.
I even like the word evaluate because it's not a in the front. Means to do over. Like, you have to try it in a different manner. But sometimes you just need to look. You might not be doing anything wrong. Like, you might.
I think you have to rework until you have become successful at it. Because once you become successful, then you have the formula to get X.
But then you got to stay successful. If it was that easy.
Right. So then once you get successful,
But you don't have
gotta
to you don't have to revise. You can
I-
keep doing the
I'm
same
saying
thing.
once, but that's after you become successful.
Even before that, bro, everything, it's only one way to get to point B, and that's by walking there. Yeah, you could
And
create a
also-
lot of different ways. Like, look, niggas been walking. Like, before we had vehicles and things, people were walking. People were taking horses. People were, I don't know. That's kind of like a revision, though, or an addition, because they revised the way of transportation. But I don't know.
See,
To
with
get
music, it's a little different.
yeah,
too,
music. I
Because,
agree with
like,
Sid about creativity.
Unlike bodybuilding and stuff like that, you can't necessarily see yourself. Like, you can see that you're not toning yourself up and losing weight. It's kind of difficult to see that in music, unless your goal is to, which most, artists' goal is this, but, to gain attraction from people or whatever, because you can kind of see that you're not growing a buzz. But then again, what if the person's goal or outcome, or even if it's 50-50 to get big and their skill, right? Because now this is a perspective thing.
Right.
No one can tell me that I'm not the
Let me-
coldest,
let me
like
throw
that I
in what
haven't
you,
gotten so much
Let me throw in
better
what
than
you
when I
said.
started. Go ahead.
Because on music, because this is the point that people got to know about music. With a lot of other things, bro, music is having faith about things happening that you ain't even seen yet.
For
You
sure.
don't see your work. You don't see that these people over here really like that song. And they telling everybody that you don't see it. So by the time I say, man, they ain't really feeling this song, and I go start doing some whole other different sounds, I start doing rock and roll. They're like, why the did he start doing rock and roll when he was hitting? Like, it was catching, like, we giving it. So you don't know what's working with music, bro. Like, this shit is invisible until it's made visible. So we gotta know. I say that more than anything. You gotta know in your heart this shit is working. I feel like that's it. You gotta have blind faith. It ain't really about, if you feel like you need to rework it. But you need to have blind faith. You can't let man, I've been rapping for 6 months, ain't nobody signed. You can't let none of that stuff detour you and make you think that ain't happening, because you gotta have blind faith. You just gotta fly on thin air until that shit catch. That's it. And your belief is more than anything. If you believe it's working, it's working. If you believe you need to rework it, guess what? You need to rework it. You said mental. It definitely is mental, but it starts with how you think about what you're doing. I think that's the biggest thing. How you feel about what you're doing. You feel like that shit ain't working, it ain't. Because you feel that. That's what you think.
And why you doing it too? It's so big, bro. Like, that's everything to me. Because
Yeah,
when you get
definitely.
in those situations like that we were in, it was never even a thought to give up or whatever.
Right.
Because I was doing this before it was a thought to make money off of it.
Right.
So there is no stop. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Money, no money, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna stop till I get to where I'm going. You know what I mean? So
Like I said, that plan B make plan A work.
you know what I'm saying?
Even if you got to rework and revise or something.
Joe might need a team too, because I seen the video where Kendrick said it's impossible to make it without a team.
I can agree with that. You need somebody,
Yeah.
because you need more hands, man. Like, one person can only do so much. That's with anything, bro. You need, like, delegation is key. You need help, like, you know, some type of help where everybody is like doing this shit with you.
Joe ain't gonna
And
get
it's-
no help if he
Don't help himself.
well, if he's not constantly like
Reworking. But did you not hear? Did you not just hear my whole rant about belief? All Joe need to do, Joe, where the camera? Joe, if you out there listening, nah, for real,
believe first.
believe in yourself, Joe. That's all you got to do. If times is hard, because that's the other thing about this shit, man. We know this music, bro. Like, you want the music to work so bad, but niggas will fall into deep states of depression because it ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where that belief come, and that you got to stand up and beat on your chest sometimes and say, I ain't going out like that. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
And
But
you
I-
got to believe it.
But
You
I
gotta
agree with
believe.
Chris though. Like you do need a team.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as an artist, bro. It gets hard for me personally. I hear a lot of artists, you know, say the same thing, but for me, it gets hard to switch between wearing the creative hat, wearing the marketing hat, wearing the manager hat if you don't have a manager.
But I'm gonna say this. I did see this guy. He's not a rapper, but he's like a financial advisor type thing. But he showed how he records. This dude had 4 cameras, and he's showing it from the other side. But it's 4 cameras. Nobody's there. It's all him, and he going live off each one. You would think it was a whole bunch of people. So sometimes you could. It's really about. Sometimes it's about your determination too. Like, people will join in, but sometimes starting off, you might have to be your own marketer, manager.
Oh,
you might have to send an email and act like somebody else.
In the beginning.
You know what I'm saying? And like, hey, I'm such and such speaking on behalf. Like, hey, what happened to your manager? Oh, yeah,
If you
it's
have
been you the whole
anyone
time.
close to you, anyone close to you in the beginning, from producer to engineer to camera, whatever, keep them around.
for sure.
Keep them around, especially in the beginning.
What up?
They with you before they see the
I just
vision.
think you got to be able to build on, like, yeah.
I like
be
that
consistent.
word. I like that word better.
Build, yeah,
Build.
for sure.
That would have saved us about 40 minutes.
Work,
But it's
build,
cool.
same thing. You got to work to build, but you
I will
You
appreciate
got to
you,
rework. You got to rebuild.
rebuild.
No,
We
what if you
appreciate
said
you.
rebuild? See,
But see,
that's sad.
I'm gonna say this, then we can move on. So that whole time you was talking about reworking, I was really starting to hate you. But since you said build, now I re-love you.
Nah,
I re-love
rebuild. Rebuild.
All right, what else?
Well, I'm
All
glad I
are we good?
reworked
Are we
my
good?
phrasing.
Yeah.
Let's
Go
let's
ahead.
let's cut
We
to a
do
break
need a,
so we can get
Cut to a
charges.
break.
Cut to a break.
All right.
Fake break.
a fake break.
Fake commercial.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
This is where the.
Oh, this what the
Well,
sponsors.
we need to spy
Oh,
out.
if,
Check it out.
look,
Say-
if y'all
Yeah.
trying to tap
Look.
in. I know y'all
If you
want.
your candle
I
right
know
here.
you want your candle on this table. We need 7 product placements.
Hey, nah, for
Yeah.
real, for real. If we still rolling, man, y'all sending some of them. You know what I mean? Some of them smell good. Y'all see the vibes up in here?
Now send some beats though.
Trayvick got it all fine straight.
Send some of them beats though too, cause we still
What do
creators.
we really use? We rolling, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad we taking this little
This little yada mean.
spin up. Right. What were we really? No, he said we rolling.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah. I want this on. Cause what were we really, you know, if there's, I got a question for y'all. If there's brand, you know, people out there that own brands and they would possibly want to, you know, partner with the What It Takes pod community, what do you guys think suits us the best? Just knowing us, you know, I'll throw out the candles.
I think.
Skitz
Hello.
just went out.
Test.
Oh,
Test.
yeah, I hear you.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I think the candle vibes.
Let's see, what were we?
I mean, if we gonna tap into food, you know, you need some vegan portions up here. You know what I'm saying? Some gluten free.
We'll take some equipment, whatever kind of audio
Oh, yeah, you
equipment
see
you
that.
guys
So-
have.
so
Video equipment.
Universal audio
I
can
think
definitely holler
that
at
type
us.
of stuff, like gifts and stuff, will happen once, you know, like
Not even gifts, just sponsorship.
sponsorship. But that's what I mean. Like that's a form
That's a
of sponsorship.
gift.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a form of sponsorship. Like, you know, but
Oh, and
But what
I,
suits us in case they were like, man, I feel like my brand would be
Sneakers.
perfect.
I say
What It Takes pod.
people who on that frequency, who on that God level. You know what I'm saying? High level things that's making the world better, not revising or not things that's not subtracting from greatness, but things that's adding to greatness. I think that would be brands who should reach out, like people who understand where we at in the world right now as far as energy and things, and they're here to add to growth.
What about incense?
Incense is dope. Like we
but
need incense.
I mean, for sure. But are there? I mean, incense companies like.
I mean, they got incense that represent chakras
like
and things
like
he was about to say something racist.
It's lucrative.
Yeah, like
niggas burn incense, bro.
For sure. I'm just saying, how lucrative is the business?
They still around. They gotta. I mean, they doing the same.
How
thing.
lucrative is the incense game?
Yeah,
I think it's lucrative.
To be enough for an incense company to be like, yo,
we want our incense right there.
For them to pay for it.
Let me ask you this. I feel like
because have you seen the sheet? No, you haven't.
You said the sheet?
Yeah.
Oh, you get the sponsorship sheet. Are you still recording?
Yeah, we're still
recording.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen the sponsorship sheet.
Well, I made one.
But I ask you this.
Talk to me.
What's the largest incense company?
Exactly.
I don't know.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Say that.
Nope.
That right there tells me that their product would be perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I think,
bro, we don't even know.
I think the
they
fact
have more work they
I
can
think
do.
the fact that every gas station still sells incense, and they still like they don't. When things aren't selling, they'll take them off. Hey, what happened to them incense? Oh, we ain't selling them no more because they weren't making no money.
Exactly.
But nigga, you can always get an incense for $1. You know, we all go to the stores. You got them right at the front.
Maybe when it comes to incense, we just cut the middleman and just
I think it's
put the incense
and
right
put
here
our own and do our own incense.
I was thinking that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we just gotta learn how to make incense. But
or find a distributor.
We diving back.
2 pennies.
Peace to the God. We back.
We back locked in.
We back.
We're back
after the brief intermission of incense and candles. All right, what you got, Chris? You got
product placement ad.
What was we talking about? Teams, right?
Yeah, you kind of
just
said
why teams were, and then we took a break, so we may be able to move past.
Yeah, team. I mean,
I think we already kind of talked about teams.
Yeah, we talked
Slightly.
about teams a little bit.
I don't know if. I mean,
well, what at times when y'all trying to stay locked in, right, or are staying locked in,
because ain't no trying in it,
right? You know what I'm saying? What are the things that come up in y'all's life that seems to deter you or try to attempt to deter you from staying locked in?
Can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what we got to understand about let me get my Vic on. So what we got to understand,
bro, that was hilarious. Yo, on wax, on record. I want to say that we need to have a whole pod one day where we just
where people talk like Trayvick.
So,
but look,
basically we just talk like this all pod.
But what we got to understand about life in general, right? So that goes along with the music and everything. It's always gonna be some type of obstacle in the way, but you got to be an excellent jumper and like a shaker and things like that, because you just gotta like avoid everything. Like if you really trying to do it, with me personally, like I done had a whole lot of things that try to detour me from doing it, but at the end of the day, I just feel it come down to how bad do you want it, and what are you gonna let stop you? Because I ain't going out like that. Like that's my main thing. I don't care what it is. Like I said earlier, sometimes you just gotta beat on your chest. Like it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And so many people, like Sid said, get turned around. Like we done seen so many people young, full of life. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then you really start seeing how much it take. Like boy, you really gotta learn how to knit. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta know how to really like put it down. So really, just being able to overcome everything. I feel like that's the best way of staying locked in. Like just have your mental right.
Present.
You know what I'm saying? Like do techniques like shit. I ain't never brought up meditation, but man, meditate, do grounding, be in nature, whatever you can do to keep your soul right and keep you like realizing that, man, all this stuff out here is fake. All this stuff trying to prevent you isn't real. It just know that you great And you got to know that you great and know that the hardest battles are given to the strongest soldiers, things like that. I really tell you, feel me? But that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real talk. You ain't never going to be the strongest if you still, like Trayvick said, if you still pushing that 25 with the bar, bro, you ain't going to be the strongest. So you got to get bigger weights and things like that in order to, like, really be that. But I think that's the best way to stay locked in. Just jump over everything or run through it.
It's just staying present to me, because it's all your mindset. It's all things in your mind that you feel are preventing you, right? So
It's all in your mind.
for real, I can't even remember what song was that.
That was one of your tracks.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to hear it. We got so many songs.
That's crazy.
What's that?
Oh, you remember?
That was the play it.
Oh,
button.
right.
The button.
Well, maybe on the revision part, you could probably rework it back.
But no, I feel like it's, again, like it's your mind, like, that's trying to prevent you. So if you can stay present, to me, that's one of the biggest things about staying locked in, because it's one of those cliche moments again, but the past has already happened. The future's not here yet. Like, all we have is the present. So I feel like a lot of times artists, we get to thinking about why it ain't happened yet, or, we get to living in our head versus just really like accepting where you at, and be not even just accepting, being grateful for where you at.
Yeah.
Cherishing where you at. And to me, like, that's a big part of staying locked in, because that's a lot of it. At least from my personal experience.
Nah, I agree. Everybody got to stay present.
When you start going left and you start, getting in your head, and you let certain negative thoughts start creeping in from whether it's, like, bro, there ain't no artist that's been doing this unless they just blew it overnight that could ever tell you. And if they do, don't believe them. When they tell you, like, man, every artist has had some inkling of a thought of, like, not stop or, like, I don't want to do this anymore, but, just those types of thoughts, like, man, you know what I'm saying? So that's where that comes from for me, just not staying present.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think accountability plays a part in it too.
Holding yourself accountable.
Yeah, like, just like if you said you was gonna do something, you gotta, like, okay, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, with, make every effort to do that, even if you have to go back and rework, or you know what I'm saying, just like, yeah.
Everybody in the comment section, drop a rework every time Trayvick said.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Put a little counter for every time.
Count how many times he says rework.
Y'all probably said it more than me, man.
Can we get a bell now?
But yeah, just holding yourself accountable, because a lot of times we can let, like, every other thing that goes on kind of, like, pull at us, like, yo, no, well, hold on, I did say I was gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a hard time doing that these past few weeks, trying to execute while executing this music video, just certain things that I said I was gonna do that came back to bite me. You know what I'm saying? If I had helped, holding myself accountable in the moment where it's like, oh, well, dang, we didn't succeed at this, but now I'm gonna go back and execute and, like, do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I mean by reworking, because it's not changing what you're trying to do. It's just, still doing it.
Fine tuning it.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the same word.
But I want to add on to the present talk, because I feel like my analogy about being present. So imagine being present as like you going down the stream continuously, but on the stream you got so much shit beside you. You got, like, just other things in the woods, and so you can't never really, like, if you locked in, focused on this thing, like, don't get distracted because this plant looks pretty and this looks like a cool flower, and get off the boat and go over there, and then you forget that you was even going down the stream, like Sid said. So you definitely gotta, like, just stay focused, man. Like everything is gonna try to come up to prevent you to do what you supposed to do. Like, that's how this works. Like, it's like we wouldn't have no hero if it was no villain. Like, what good are you, Spider-Man? Like, nigga, nobody doing nothing. We don't need you here. We don't.
Yo, what did Tobey Maguire do?
I'm just saying, if it was no, I don't even know a villain right now with Spider-Man, but if it was no villain,
Dr. Evil, ain't it? Or
then the Spider guy, or the
This
other guy with
nigga said Dr.
I don't know, man. Fuck that.
Oh my
But
god.
look,
no, Trayvick.
he knows.
Just a
'cause he's
side note,
fan.
Trayvick's like a huge Marvel fan or whatnot. Sorry, y'all. Please do not kill me. It's a hip hop.
How does he not know?
Dr.
Not
Evil
right.
is crazy.
But
He could have
But
said
look.
Green Goblin. It's just like
That's
Green
who I
Goblin,
was
that's
thinking,
what I was
low
thinking
key.
about.
Too.
But look,
There's no-
what would his purpose be,
That gonna
bro?
make me go
Doctor,
outside.
that's another thing. I know that's Doctor.
There is a Dr. Evil. He just not that.
not as
I think that's
Not
a
Spider-Man.
cartoon.
Wow.
But
Is there a Doctor Strange?
that's
yes.
That's
that's
not
the other
Spider-Man
thing.
but
either.
he's not a villain.
nah,
Well,
he's
I
a
was
good
thinking,
guy.
what
But
Green
his
Goblin.
counter self was a villain.
There was like
but-
wasn't he like
Well,
we ain't gonna go
Bro,
down
the
no
point,
Spider-Man
bro, the
tangent.
point. If there was no adversary, there would be no point for a hero. Like that's how this works. If there were no obstacles, there would be no point for pole jumpers.
What you laugh? When you just looked it up.
What the
You
hell?
just
I'm trying to
looked it
get
up.
the greatest.
Dr.
shit.
Evil played it. Oh, I know exactly. Yo, I thought I saw it on it.
Was it
That's
Austin
fucking
Powers?
hilarious. Yes, bro. I saw it right when he was.
Come on, Dan. That is not a villain. All right, man. Let's move on. What you got,
That is a
Chris?
villain. There'd be no Austin Powers without Dr.
Well,
Evil.
he had a point, but it wasn't Spider-Man.
Bro, almost in tears off that one. It's not that. First of all,
It was a
not that
comedic.
funny.
It was a comedic villain. But
It's not.
he wasn't like a killer
relax.
villain, but
That's hilarious.
and then he
Relax.
later became a hero or a good guy. All right, what you got, Chris?
I got one that's hit or miss.
Okay.
What's the least talked about but most important role in a team?
Oh my goodness, Trayvick. Let Trayvick lead us.
Me? The fuck?
It had to be one of us.
But why you say me?
Yeah,
Repeat that again.
You do it. I'm a piggyback off what you.
What's
You said tell him say it again.
Say it
What's-
again. The most important. But
what's
not,
the least talked about
But most important,
but important role in a team?
the nigga
What
holding the
team?
bags. No, I'm just playing.
Facts.
He has all the cargo. No, I'm
Next-
just playing.
next
Hey,
question.
shout out to bro helping bring the bags in
Oh,
too.
I thought
dog,
you was
know
talking
what
about the money bag. That's the most.
No, I'm talking about the nigga carrying the luggage.
on the show. On
No,
the tour.
I'm
We'll-
being fun. I'm being
we'll
funny.
appreciate
But
it.
shout out them too.
But what
Nah, for
in,
sure,
in a
for sure.
in a team for what though? Let's clarify. Like
talking about our teams, music.
Like your team, like for music. Put it like this. Let's say you sign with a label that say you got money to bring 5 people on. Who you gonna go get?
Can we do 5 people or 5 roles? Does it have to be one role?
5 different roles.
Let's just do 5 roles that
Well,
are
who's the most
underappreciated. Because
well,
the
let's
most
just name the 5
important.
roles.
But
Let's just name the
can I
5
say
roles
this?
first.
Let's name the 5 roles.
Let me throw some. All right, 5 roles. What? Artist, engineer, producer.
I mean, you're the artist, so you kind of
Outside of
outside of the artist. You
Outside of
picking
the
who?
artist.
and you going pretty fast. I'm like, I don't know. Like
You know what I'm saying?
those are
That's
highly
a basic.
but I mean 2023 a
Just
lot
to
of,
make a song. So are we talking about to make a song or to?
by
push
the
a
way,
song?
I'm an engineer. So don't you know what I mean? Like I would never shit on the engineers.
But let me.
a lot
Can
of
I?
artists know how to engineer
Can I
themselves
say
in
this? Can I say this
2023.
before we deviate?
Tracking engineers at least.
Let me just say this. I'm gonna give the most responsible answer.
Oh, I just heard too.
All-
Went away.
All positions are important because one couldn't do what the other one. Like we can't do anything without the other. Like you need, like rappers need an engineer or they engineer themselves, right? But unless they doing, all right, let's just kill that. Unless you doing everything, you need an engineer, you need a producer. Unless
But
you
the
doing,
most
that's what I
important-
said. But look, you all of this to make it happen. You need some type of marketing. That could be a person or that could be a thing. You need, if you're shooting videos, you need a videographer. So all of us need each other to make it shake.
I kind of disagree.
You don't
This
think
the
we all
first
need each other?
episode we kind of disagree, Skitz, but
Now let's do it.
man, this is because I'm such a creative guy. Knows I am, but like the business side of this industry, like I personally don't think the creative side is as important
But
as
what
the
they
business
gonna
side.
market without creativity?
I didn't say you don't have to have any creativity, but you know, like, okay, if I was thinking about a team, right, and because I feel like what you're naming are things that have to be checked off, but again, we talking about the most important. So if I personally were putting together a team, I would be more worried about, like you said, the marketing side of things versus like the creative side of things. So if I had to pick between an engineer and like a PR, for example, I'm going with the PR.
See,
I can hire
choose both.
someone, but you can't because we said 5 roles. I mean, maybe you out of your 5 roles, those 2. I'm just making an example. I may have an engineer in there too. Well, I actually personally, I know I wouldn't have an engineer.
Me either.
Because I engineer myself. But even if I didn't, if the engineer can engineer me one time and this one song, you know, sometimes we know this too. Sometimes one song all it takes to do it. So no offense to the engineer, but the engineer is not going to be that high up on my list. I can pay you for your service of you engineering me and mixing me or whatever, but you're not going to be a part of these 5 over here that I feel are the 5 that you really need. But we still haven't agreed on a 5 on what we feel like the 5 roles would be.
I mean, and I'm gonna say this real quick, and we can do it. But I like in my world, I don't like choosing. Like when they say, like it's the cake and you'll eat it too. I want my cake and I want to eat it too. So I don't like deciding. Like
It's
I
cake
say,
is what you're supposed to do.
but I say all of them. To me, that's my opinion. But
But
we could pick the 5 roles. But I think every single person takes, like every single person is necessary for it to be what it is. Like the artist, the engineer, the producer.
I feel like we
But
could give a
those
more
could not-
practical
but
answer.
but those
to
could
what
not
he's
be
asking.
I was
those-
surprised y'all didn't say accountant, lawyer.
I ain't made it there.
You said the most underappreciated too, though.
Yeah.
So
But
I
if
ain't
we
never heard nobody not get their accountants big ups
big ups
and
to the
stuff
account.
like that. Like,
But I mean, if I had to say who's most underappreciated, shit, I damn near would say the rapper. I damn near would say the
Hey
rapper.
man,
we all
don't get
got
me
quiet. We all
started.
got quiet then.
Don't
Like,
get me started.
If we gonna
But-
pinpoint it, I
can
mean,
kinda see how you.
Because everybody getting paid.
because
for
everybody
us.
get paid from the
Oh, for
rapper,
sure.
but everybody also expect the rapper to do, which is cool, but they expect the rapper to do all of these other things, and I don't think the rapper is appreciated until they,
Until
God
you pop.
forbid, get
Or until
anything
you
happen
pop.
to until you really make it big, and then you, they might not value as much, but you definitely valued if you're a
If you
pass
But I
away.
feel like we
rapper.
could give a more practical answer. What you think, Trayvick? Like, I think that's kind of how he was asking, like, who's the least talked about but the most, important.
I think the mixing.
engineers-
I would say
I
the
was-
mixing.
I
Oh,
think
the
engineer-
least talked
engineers-
about most important. Okay.
Yeah, if we given a practical answer, like if people watching this at home, we can get intricate.
I mean,
sometimes.
but people always. I mean,
I don't think niggas shout out how many who
But
mixed the
from a
last
practical
grade.
sense, Trayvick, like who,
But-
like who,
but
like who
practically-
who gets left out a lot. Like when you think of a team, like who,
I think the tracking and
it's
the
like,
mixing
damn,
engineer.
he played a role that big, but he doesn't get the recognition. Like who falls under those roles?
Manager.
It's pretty much what I feel like he was probably kind of asking, right?
management.
Somebody.
He said management, but
Nah,
don't
hell
think-
no. I'm
Management-
saying,
Your
but
manager
no. I'm not saying that.
Accountant.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like,
I don't
okay,
think it's accounting either.
the practical answer is obviously the
Probably
engineer, right? But
Right.
it's become so practical that it's talked about enough.
Is
Your bus driver? Well, right. Is it?
I'm saying,
Right.
I'm saying it's talked about the fact
What's
that
your,
no,
what's your
no.
latest favorite song, and tell me who engineered it.
No, listen.
But who produced
I'm
it?
saying-
Facts.
Listen.
See, that's where that engineer.
Listen to me.
Hey man, shout out to the engineer.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. I'm
And
saying,
shout out tracking engineers because they definitely
they-
get less
bro, they get
recognition than
none.
mixing engineers. Yeah, they get none.
I don't
That's
mix.
facts.
Look,
And-
I
but
don't
nobody
mix tracks
cares
that-
about that, bro.
You
It's-
gonna tell me, bro? I don't mix tracks that niggas is listening to. You
but
telling me
nobody
you don't care?
cares. They
That's
just,
all-
they
That's
just.
his
It
point. That's
sounds
our
like-
point.
It sounds
They
like
don't
that
care.
shit.
It's not even like
undervalued.
That's the point, though, Trayvick, is they don't care.
they don't
Are you
care.
saying that's not important?
No,
The
I'm
nigga
not.
who
I'm
track
not.
the
I'm
track?
not saying it's not
That's
important.
underappreciated,
I'm not-
right?
Let's get it, Trayvick.
He said the least talked about and the most important. I don't, because the engineer doesn't get much shine. because that's been a reoccurring thing in the most recent conversations in this industry, it's being talked about so much, is what I'm saying, is that you can't use that as an excuse anymore.
I don't hear that.
Oh,
shit,
the only thing, you know, the person not being recognized, or if we're going to talk about someone not being recognized in a public light, which, like, it just doesn't even make sense. Like, who's going to talk about the engineer who made the Rolls Royce?
But he's the one. That's the all right. Let me drop it on you. Right. I just recently watched.
Okay.
I just recently watched Air. It's about Jordan, and I feel like that's a perfect perspective of undervalued people. Because when we see the shoe, we think about Jordan, we think about Chicago Bulls and things like that, and that's it. But we don't even take the time to think about the person who made this deal happen. This nigga drove to North Carolina to make it happen. The niggas who spent hours to design the shoe in the first. Nobody even knows their name until they just, well, you know, some people might if they look into that. But we don't even appreciate them, and they the ones who designed the whole thing. That's like the engineer.
In what industry does that exist though? Like,
but that's the point of the question. They undervalued and underappreciated.
I think that's
we need to pay homage to the nigga who designed the Rolls Royce because he
that's a human. That's more of a human problem than anything, and I don't even know if it's that much of a problem.
Everything is a human problem because they.
my thing is like,
all right, what you got?
Because I think when we start to be grateful for the small things, maybe it'll be recognized, but I don't know if recognition I don't know if recognition aligns with being grateful for the small things.
But see, recognizing, being aware is the first step into showing gratitude. How can I be thankful for anything or grateful for anything if I don't even recognize that this is happening?
I agree with both of you.
Like, I can't be
that is the first step, but Trayvick's right.
Because like who came up with the sidewalk?
Right.
We need to give him thanks, nigga.
You said
give
who?
him thanks.
I don't think anyone knows the pursuit.
Exactly. But I think
someone came up with the sidewalk.
But sure, somebody came up with the idea of creating
cement. Somebody created
someone
cement.
definitely thought of the idea of people need to walk right here, not in the street.
Let's straighten it up.
I think if you were in the industry, you would know who it is.
Right.
Like if you in software, you know
right.
a lot of names you guys wouldn't know.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
But the point is, I think what makes something so great is when your invention or what you do supersedes who you are.
But does that mean you're not supposed to show homage to him? That's
the
my
people
point.
who care about it.
But that's what I'm saying.
The people who care about it. But so if you care about engineering,
he said most. What you said? Least most undervalued and most unappreciated. So if more people started to appreciate we know who designed this computer, but even that we know whose name is on
it,
but we don't know how many people was behind. Are we gonna put this right in the middle? Who drew up the picture of it? And even that is expanding your gratitude and showing appreciation to it, because they a real person who did real work. If I'm an engineer and I mix this big song that everybody going crazy, everybody like, yo, that beat hard, but ain't nobody thinking about how clean the mix is.
I'm gonna take it a step further, y'all.
So go ahead.
It's kind of like it's what we place value on, right? For example, Trayvick's most recent favorite song, right? Or whatever, we use that. We'll piggyback off that. Mm-hmm. That same song, which we didn't say an actual song, but whatever that song is, right? You said who engineered it. I'll give you another one. Who DJ'd it? What does that even mean?
Who broke it first?
What does that even mean anymore? Well, even that, right? Even DJing has different
aspect,
right?
Until you become a DJ
title,
for a famous,
titles now. But I'm going somewhere with this, right? Mm-hmm. And that was almost a crazy name drop, even though they legends. I'll just say this, right? And we all know this. We all like super, real hip hop fans as well. But like back in the 90s, bro, you would have the DJ's name before the rapper's name. Right? So I don't want to go too big on a tangent on this, but I'm saying all this to say, if that became a thing, like, bro, you heard who engineered, like, or who, like, then that would be what we give value to, because the DJs used to be bigger than the rappers.
But
That was a real thing.
I think that could be a game changer if we started paying, like, just showing respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, even on a split level, bro. Like you said, you pay for a service. Like, I think everybody at some stance, everybody who took a part in the song, everybody should have like access to royalties for the song because they all made it happen.
What royalties,
I
though?
agree with that.
Royalties come on, man. Once money is made off the song, which I hope you are making some
Bro,
portion of money.
it's a whole,
See, look, I feel
it's a
him, though.
whole nother
I feel
job
him,
that
though.
has
So you
to
don't think-
happen.
No. Listen,
Bro,
I
it's a
feel him, though,
whole nother
Trayvick.
job that
Just
has
think
to.
about it, Trayvick.
Listen, because
Think about it,
we
Trayvick.
already get paid.
But we already
Think about it, Trayvick.
But we already, bro.
Off
Your
the
song,
off
your
of the
song.
performance.
Let me
of
give
the
it to you
record.
though. Let me give it to you as a nigga who engineered too, nigga. Like I ain't even saying like, but I'm saying from their side or from anybody's side, your song would not exist. You could have went and found another one, but you didn't. You found him, and he
sure.
made it like
Or her.
this. Yeah, him or her. You found
Or
it.
they.
Bruh,
And you
shut
made it. I was not gonna do it, but you found them and made it like this, and you found a producer, and they produce your song. This certain creation is not anything without these people.
And that's why I do think they should be cut in on the royalties too, bro. I feel them.
Okay, but
Even if it's a small
but listen,
amount, it don't
my
gotta
point-
be
wait,
big,
wait,
big.
but wait, but
They could
but-
get a third of the song.
But look,
I think that too.
but look, my question was only which royalties, and I would say performance royalties because
Yeah.
that's.
But
the-
anything off
Y'all
the
talking
song,
No,
about royalties. I'm
Wait.
talking about publishing and all.
Let's
though.
talk.
I ain't gonna
Let's
lie.
talk. Wait.
No,
Let's
no.
let's talk about. Let's go back to the movie.
You know, that's
as it-
kind of
wait, look.
becoming a thing too,
Look,
or a conversation.
Big
I mean,
Sid.
that a lot too.
Let me go back to the movie.
Publishing.
Let me go back to the movie because that's the game changer that Jordan did too. Before Jordan, they had been making nigga shoes, but it was just a shoe of them, and they get a bonus for signing, and that's it. You get your name on some magazines and things like that. But Jordan changed the game because what he said, I want a percentage off every shoe sold
But look, you know why he deserves that?
because he's Jordan.
Because no, because when you sell the shoe, there's a part that goes into making that sale, which is the brand of Jordan. If you don't have a brand, I mean, it's like, I don't know, like,
You gotta say yourself up because when you sell your song, they hearing all components of every. They not only hearing you with just air and you rapping, they hearing the time that the producer spent on this beat. They hearing the time that the engineer spent on it, and let's just leave it right there.
but that doesn't actually help sell it.
It does because it's the material.
Bro, if there's nothing else other than just the song.
So what is
You
what
want
is the
them to help
producer?
you sell it?
Hold on, what is the producer making the beat? How does that help sell it?
I mean,
Yeah, he gets a split. We talking about the engineer because the
he
producer already
does-
good.
I mean, there's
but the engineer is the one who make it go.
So I guess my whole argument is for the master.
Engineers
right?
gonna
Even
beat you up
video,
at-
I
even
know- no.
videographers could get percentages.
So I'm talking
Yeah.
I'm talking specific.
off the video,
They shoot this shit and it's out forever.
right?
So
Millions of views.
I'm speaking into the realm of the master recording, right? And then taking that because
You can own your
somebody
master.
no because but somebody has to take that and actually make profit.
But without them, you have nothing to make profit off of. You don't
And once they
understand
make profit, why can the producer and the artist eat off these profits, but the engineer can't?
that? He the
Be-
one
because
he made it sound
because the
good.
person who made the profit and owned the master decided that they can.
decided.
Right.
That's the point.
Decided that they can.
My whole entry was we could change. That really would change the game if, like, I want to give. Shit, I done did it before. I done gave my man's like a little 5. Like, bro,
I'll be big on that.
My song would not
For
be
sure.
anything if you ain't sauce it. If you ain't put that engineer sauce, it just wouldn't, bro.
Bro, a bro of ours that we all know came in the lab one time and was like, nah, bro. Like, and this is to this day, I feel like probably one of, if not my hardest song. And bro was like, nah, bro. He didn't tell me what words to say or nothing. He was just like, bro, you could have transitioned a little bit better right there.
You throw him a percent.
Instead of you coming like straight in. Facts.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it because that's what I'm saying. That's why that was my answer in the beginning. I feel like everybody takes part. So a lot of people are undervalued, but the most is definitely the engineer because they put the finishing touches. Even with movies, the nigga. Well, I don't know. The person who do the final edit might be the least. You know, everybody give love to the director.
I think can we do a 5?
All right, we could switch to the 5. What we got?
think social media person.
What this
Whatever
this
you
is
wanna
what
call them.
what the first one is the least or the most?
I'm not going in order.
Oh,
What's most important to least. I feel like it would be easier to get.
but what if they just their
But do
own
y'all agree
social
with
media
that?
person? If
You
they
can say
just
the
follow
same
that-
That's
thing
kind of
for
like engineer.
engineering.
Yeah, for sure,
Shit.
for sure. But
But
I think
If you
social
if
media
you
is
are,
way more
then
important.
you
than-
already you getting value because you're the rapper.
And let me ask y'all something, right? If someone had, because again, I'm not trying to crap on engineers. We're like, we gotta have a conversation, because we're engineers too. But we gotta have a conversation. If someone had absolutely no engineer, like no access to an engineer at all,
Mm-hmm.
like not even they homie that could record them,
Mm-hmm.
please do not kill me for this question, y'all. But like, is it that needed? Like really that needed?
But do they
Or do you
they
just
know
go,
how to
or
engineer?
do you just go bust that? They know how to use they iPhone
Bro,
headphones through the.
the first engineers were the rappers, my nigga. The niggas had
Trayvick.
tape deck.
Engineers gonna be on Trayvick head, bro. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that part. The first engineers were rappers.
like yo,
I don't know if I agree with
You
that.
don't
bro.
know?
I don't
Shout
know
out
if
to
I
my
Okay, maybe
engineer
DJs. I don't know, but like think about the
I don't
evolution
think
of hip hop.
I don't think
But-
DJ.
but hold
Wait,
up, but-
I don't think rappers knew how. Cause we talking about the first rapper. Do you know niggas was rapping on tape? I don't
Exact-
think rappers knew
but
how
that's-
to do that
that's-
shit.
I don't
think you
either,
needed
bro.
a technical
I don't either,
motherfucker.
bro.
But
That's
that's
what we had. I'm
but
about
that's
to name drop.
recording
Shout,
it, my
shout
nigga.
out Carl
Carl
Howard.
Harper.
shout out Carl for sure.
If you fucking know, you know.
All right, he was one of the first. I don't think
Carl
that
fucking
he's
Howard
an
was
artist.
man.
I
If
fuck
he
with-
ever see this.
I fuck with Jimmy Z, man. And
Shout out all
Carl.
them boys, man. We doing like that. We
Trey
giving
Vic,
drops. Man.
I
Shout
know,
out
I
Dan
know
Cahill,
I
man.
know the role you play on this thing, but I don't think this.
No,
gonna
I
be
fuck. I
fair.
fuck.
He said the role.
The thing is, I fuck with engineers, when they're great.
But
So-
you kind of agree with me. It's one of the things that you may not need the
But
most.
if you need
a
it, though.
great engineer is like having a. Sometimes I gotta throw Trayvick under the bus with myself. Sometimes Trayvick and I have some of the worst analogies ever. But I'm gonna try.
I have some pretty
I had
good
to
ones.
throw
I
you
don't
under
know
there
about
with me.
these.
It's kind of like having a A1 barber. This is like the best barber you can find, right? You know when you go to him or her, it's like it's not even gonna be, comparable. Immediately, people are like, damn, boy, who lined you up? But on them days when them pockets looking a little tight, you know what I mean? If you know how to, you can get them clippers and, it may not be as
But that barber
pristine as
gonna get you how many numbers that week?
But that barber that's how I look. That's how I look at an A1 engineer. It's like if you gotta go in
But
the
that's-
mirror and just
you
hit
gotta pay
yourself
'em.
up real quick.
Yeah.
Use them iPhone headphones, then that's what you gotta do.
But
if you,
I think at the time that you do add the engineering, they deserve homage. So if you
iPhone
do your
headphones
own
to record.
engineering,
That's like giving yourself a lineup.
if you do your own mix and you do your own engineering, then you are the one who deserves the credit. That's why. But what a nigga gonna do who do that? They gonna let you know.
They gonna
I
let
made
you
my
know
own
they did
beat
it, for
and I
sure.
engineered it. So
right,
nigga,
for sure.
you can't tell me it's only important when you do it all yourself, but not when somebody else do it with you.
That's why I do think it's highly important. It's highly important. I think having your image up is highly important, and having that lineup that's going
I
have
think
you stand out when you go places. But if you didn't have it, would it? Go ahead, Trey.
I mean, I do think having the song engineered amazing is very important, right?
For sure.
Does it play an integral role of selling a record?
Fuck
No,
I think
because
sorry,
the
I had
records
to
have
say it like that, bro. Fuck
because
no.
records have been sold
no, bro.
that had the worst mixes.
Let's
The
piggyback
worst
on that
recordings.
Trayvick.
You know what they
Let's
not
piggyback
gonna-
on that Trayvick, because we know not only the worst that may be perceived as that, but we know there's people that intentionally have put mixes out that are distorted and stuff like that. And these songs went.
But what about those songs that you heard and you like, damn, this shit sound clean? We not talking about the ones that didn't need it or didn't do it. We talking about the ones that did.
That sounded clean and they were successful.
And you could hear like, God dang, like who the way they got
But
the
that
background.
ain't.
Like,
But that ain't what got me to listen to the record. Somebody had to even get.
I agree with that.
Somebody had to get it in front of my ears.
I agree with that.
But once you hear the record and it sound, it's crazy. It's like saying that whoever came up with the food on the menu shit, they not the one. But nigga, they came up with the food on the menu.
Nah, but
so
the engineer not coming up with the food on the menu.
He cooking it.
He the one cooking it.
Hell nah.
I feel that. I kind of feel that analogy.
Like, he
ain't come up with a recipe, but he the one.
But he cooked it. He followed the script and he made it better. And now you tasting what. Like if
I don't know if
another engineer did it or if he didn't, it could have still did.
I need to give me a second to think of a position in the kitchen he played. But
who, the engineer?
Yeah, let me just y'all keep going.
He's the cook. Let's say you got the person who made the menu and wrote the recipe, and then you got just another nigga working in the kitchen. But when he cook it, it ain't good. He don't season it right. But this
that engineer is important, bro. Let's just do a 5, bro. Cause we still trying to talk about what.
Hey man, I want y'all to know if nobody else love y'all, I fuck with y'all engineers, man.
We ain't gonna do that.
Right,
from engineer to rapper over here. We all went through that. So
I fuck with great
but
engineers. If you ain't
great engineers, fuck with me. How about that?
Yeah,
you know,
they do fuck with me too. They be like, who did that? Me.
I know how to engineer, but you know what I do?
But you know who don't give a fuck about none of that shit?
Pay my boy.
Fucking fan.
The fan don't care about none of that. And I'm dumb humble. I want to learn from y'all. Any engineers, send me tips.
The fan.
I thought that's why. I thought that's the perspective we were speaking from.
We think the fan.
What's the most important, but at least.
That's
I'm talking about at least.
Speaking
for
to,
the fan,
we will be speaking to them.
The fan.
No, he's talking about as far as
speaking
least
from. I think
appreciated.
the fan view they
underappreciate it.
They definitely don't appreciate the
Of course.
Hey, if y'all feel like if y'all are in this industry,
engineer is.
If y'all are in this if y'all are in this industry, and you're an artist, or if you're not an artist, or if you're an artist and you have other roles, comment below what y'all feel like is, the most underappreciated.
What's your 5 cents?
Role?
You said social media.
Yeah, I feel like whoever's handling your socials. Top 5 underappreciated. Yeah, probably PR.
What about the graphic designer? Nobody's ever looked at the cover.
I almost don't want to have this convo no more. Cause it's like, yo, we finna shit on it. But they got Fiverr.
But even the Fiverr.
They got Canva.
Bro, every time niggas go to your song, they seeing, this cover.
Trayvick making his own covers now.
But we excluding.
Hey, but if they ain't fire, they ain't fire.
We gotta exclude to a extent. It's hard. But if you making your own, bro, you're not counting. Cause you gonna let everybody know, I made that.
This the thing though, Skitz. You can do that with every single part of this.
But we gotta exclude that part though. Look though. If we talking about this, we can't talk about the people who doing it themselves.
No. Cause say Trayvick shoot your video, right?
He gonna get tagged.
Forget Trayvick for a second. But you edited it. Oh, you best believe you're gonna let everybody know. Oh, and I edited it. You didn't even shoot it, but you edited it. You gonna let everybody know. But I edited the video.
But I'm also let him know he shot it.
But I get that part. I'm just saying like.
But that's my point. We all going, nigga. As soon as I play the song, I made the beat. I know you heard the tag already, but yeah, I made that.
I think all of this can be summed up as the creative.
The creative is undervalued.
Least talked about, unappreciated in
all creatives.
I still think it's the accountant.
That's kind of what I said in the beginning.
The accountant.
Because if folks not getting paid right, everything gonna fall apart.
I mean,
but there's levels to
that's
this.
Later down the line.
But I think niggas appreciate.
Because even shitty accountants, it's like, there's some of the biggest artists in the world whose money was messed up.
Cause we could say a lawyer.
You know what I'm saying?
If we want to go to accountants.
But then the question will be unappreciated by who? Because I don't think the fans care about who their accountant is. Because they don't have nothing to do with that.
That's facts. Was it underappreciated like by team?
We can talk about both by team.
Because all the fancy is the creative side.
Put it like this: your label say go get 5 people. Who the first person you get?
The first person I'm getting.
You already got a lawyer. 9 times out of 10, if you already with
See,
a
that's why I
label.
say your content guy, but
I'm going to get a 5
I'm
videographer.
probably going to
and
get a
5
shooter.
producer.
See, we're going to get a shooter. I was thinking that,
Yeah.
but everybody knows the shooter is one of the most important pieces on your team.
I'm going to get
so
the
that's where it's
best.
kind of like, but the person that's sitting there, you know,
I say
whoever the girl's name, if it's even a girl, but the girl that's
Producer.
posting your stuff all day, 5 times a day, nobody even sees or ever hears about that person,
I'm getting
right? And that's your social, so that's why that was one for me.
But some,
I'm
You
getting
give
with
us
some,
one, Trayvick.
I'm getting with some of the best producer I can find.
No. Man, you switching it to the people you get.
Oh, these
the underappreciated.
he wanted,
Well, he was saying that
wanted to
because we
answer-
know, yeah.
He wanted to throw his answer.
Oh,
Oh.
go ahead. You talking about Trayvick?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, that's what I thought. That's where we was at. But
I feel like he asked that to say we know the 5 we gonna go get.
But who's undervalued?
Exactly.
So we know the producer is valued.
we know the
We
producer
know the,
has
the
value.
videographer.
We
is
know the
valued.
videographer as a fan. If Drew didn't film it, it ain't filmed right. And I wasn't making that voice, you know, to shit on shout out bro or whoever shoots that. But that's what, it's like those have so much value. They have drops now, right?
Yeah.
Videographers have drops now, right? Producers have drops, so we know that.
But
Well, that's why I done started dropping my engineer tag on these folks, which is a whole nother engineers trying to cloud up and
But
get
see,
our own tags.
I shout out my boy because my boy produced. I be like, oh, my boy mixed and produced it.
Mm-hmm.
AK mixed it. You already know. So I be, you know what I'm saying? I do the shots out when necessary. Well, for anybody, it don't even matter. I think everybody play a part. But I think, like I was saying about graphic designers, I don't think they get enough credit. For the person who made your cover.
This was a talk. Now, this was off camera. If Trey would know what I'm about to say. Cause we had a whole discussion about this now.
About cover art.
Between us three.
yo,
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of what Trayvick was saying now. That
What?
day.
yes. How
All
important
about.
the graphic designer
But,
is
all right,
when
wait.
shaping your brand.
Let me draw the line because your cover art ain't a logo. It's
Are you
not.
talking about mine?
Yeah, if that's what you was bringing up.
Your cover art is not a logo,
It's
but
not a logo.
I'm not saying it was a look.
No, so what we talking about?
Graphic design isn't just cover art though.
But
so you feel like cover art is
specifically said
more important
cover
than logo.
art. Yes.
Ooh, but that's a whole. Hey, that could possibly be a whole segment next time. Because
Cover art.
what's more important, your logo or your cover art? God, that's crazy, bro.
But they always gonna see the logo.
I mean,
I feel like they gonna
it
see
depends.
That's crazy.
It depends on. In music,
Because
as
that
an artist,
project could be
your cover
bigger
art.
than your logo.
and music as
Cover
an
art?
artist, cover art.
Really?
in music.
As
I
a
don't know. Y'all
business-
chime in the comments. What y'all think?
As a business, I think
more important.
your logo is because you're not dropping no cover art.
Because your logo, but think your logo, even as a
because think about the biggest artists in the world, they don't have a logo.
Ooh, I got one. I was thinking this too. Y'all,
But the second
I
biggest
don't want to
one-
name drop, bro, but I got like
Bro, we're gonna have to abandon that rule. But
he said we're gonna have to, or we'll bleep it out.
no, I'm not doing these.
He ain't
fucking
blinked
bleeps,
the
bro.
rest.
I didn't bleep the rest of them, bro. It's not
Bleeps,
happening.
look at bro.
It's not
Do
happening.
the bleeps, bro.
No.
He's lazy.
He's right.
I'm lazy. Okay.
Well,
He's
fuck
not.
it,
He's
since
not willing
that's
to
what we doing.
rework it.
All right, look, check this. I know. I see it in your eyes, Chris. Chris is ready. For
Chris
the next
been name
segment.
drop.
Look,
Chris
I'm
said
ready.
fuck it up and
All right,
said.
so watch this. Watch this, right? And you answer this too, Chris. I went into Trayvick mode in case y'all couldn't. What's the yeah, anytime you see me go like this,
It's the part.
what's the the most memorable / fire? So it's two-parted.
/fire.
Memorable / fire cover Drake has ever dropped.
The one where he was sitting on the top of that building.
That's not nothing. What was that
Take
called?
care.
Views.
What?
He
That's
said
what
when he was
the
sitting on
Views?
top of the building.
No, not with the clouds. Oh yeah, views. That was it.
Yeah, when he was sitting on
It's
top of the thing, right?
Views?
Yeah.
That was a pretty
That's the
hard
first
cover.
thing I thought about.
That was a hard cover.
Take care.
But
No,
leave
look at Trey-
and everything.
Out of all
You
his,
said take care.
It's
What?
got to be take care.
Take
It
care
has to be with him sitting down, looking down with the shot.
with the
That's
gold.
the one I'm
That's
talking
the little gold one, right?
Let's take care. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about
I'm
with the
talking about the
gold?
one he was sitting on the building.
No,
very
bro.
small.
Yeah,
That's
you
Views.
talking about views?
Okay.
Views was hard.
boo.
That might
No.
be one of his hardest.
That was
views.
no.
But what's the
What?
point of the question?
What's the point of going?
No, I need Trayvick to give his now. He act like he got.
You see
Because
what I'm
I ain't
saying?
gonna lie, I don't
It's-
think it's. I don't agree with take care.
If y'all
It's
could,
take
if
care
y'all
of-
could see this on
or-
film, look at the.
You said what?
He does his hand like he does his hand like.
I know that's
I
why
don't-
I'm starting to talk like this too.
I don't
No.
do that actually. I was only mocking him, but okay.
Go
But,
ahead, give us your favorite, or not favorite.
It,
but
it
most
would have to
memorable
be
slash
take
fire.
care or nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same. It's pretty hard too.
Yeah, but what was
Do
the
you know
point?
how many people put? It's one of those two. They didn't even. I mean, they didn't. That's kind of his brand.
They couldn't really do.
I'll finish-
the
The
views.
reason
I'm
I was
finna say-
asking,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
No.
I was asking Skitz because
The cover art is memorable.
the cover art, it's cool. See, I don't want to see. This is why we gotta do the name drop. So it's like, you know, niggas ain't getting blackballed for giving our honest opinion, but they cool. They cool.
But you remember
But that owl.
the OVO?
He's the only, bruh. No.
I see
You
what
just
he's
know,
saying.
but you just
though.
know what
Hold
it
on.
is.
You heard what
But
Chris
look,
said?
No.
Kids
Hold
in my
on.
school
Can I hear
wear
Chris- can I hear
OVO
Chris talk?
shirts,
I wanna hear
sweatshirts,
this.
but you
But
ain't gonna
that's-
see no
I wanna
take
hear
care
this.
shirts.
That's
though.
merchandise and branding. That's a whole nother
That's
world.
different, bro. That's because he's made a brand.
But that owl might have more reach, brother. Is what I'm saying,
That's
bro.
because
he
It,
made a
it
brand.
has to be
It
somebody in China. Shout out to everybody in China tuning in, rocking the OVO owl, bro.
But that's
But
because
they
he
might
made
see
it a
that
merch
cover and might
brand.
not even know.
That's because he made it a
I
brand.
don't care, Trayvick. That's what logo. That's what you do with logos, brother. They're gonna transcend music, right, y'all? It's gonna be on the music. It's probably gonna be on the covers. It's gonna be on the clothes. It's gonna be
All right, I got one more.
right.
But what about the people who don't have logos? Like what's
The biggest artist in the world.
that's what I'm saying.
Who's
Does
the
he have
biggest
a
artist
logo?
in the world that doesn't have a logo?
Oh wait, does he?
Beyonce.
Michael Jackson,
Who?
Michael
Beyonce,
Jackson didn't have a.
Jay-Z.
Hey, can we get a fact check on all these that those three don't have logos? Because I'm almost certain they do.
My
But you
phone
remember
dead.
that Prince album?
Your phone said.
Phone dead.
I got you.
Oh, damn.
But I feel like logos are important, but when it comes to music, the cover art, that's what gets their attention. You don't see a nigga drop his logo and say, "I'm dropping an album on Friday." He dropped the cover art. Like you gonna see the logo when he drop clothes and things like that, of course. But the cover art, cover art got to be hard, or it's something. It got to be unique. It's got to be something they like make.
But all this to say is, you know, the graphic designer.
It's
on the team
underappreciated.
It is important, right?
I mean,
Graphic designer
But they
make logos
underappreciate it.
and
But who looks at the cover and
they
say,
are
"Damn,
kinda
who
under-
made that?"
They are kind of underappreciated.
Don't know. We just see the logo. That's the thing about gratitude. Because what
But
you said about
they do-
recognition, we see it, but we don't say, "Dang." Like some people might, because some people are like that. But me, I'm telling you, I didn't look, bro. I didn't go back and look to see who made this cover.
but nobody goes back to look at anything. So it's all about what you put at the forefront on the team, I guess. Because I know, for example, like there was a huge thing about an artist cover art from and you know it was made by somebody and it was an uproar about it. But they talked
Yeah, I
about
think
it.
I remember. I'm gonna have to take a rain check on those logos. I can't tell if they're like official or not.
All right, what else we
But they
got?
t-
You was still going. My fault.
Nah. I mean, I was, but it didn't really matter. Like, I think graphic designers for sure could be in the conversation
About
I
at
agree.
least-
At least,
because
yeah, I agree.
it's not even in the conversation of who's underappreciated. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like
For sure. I see what you're saying.
you know, like engineers are already in that conversation.
Right,
That's what I
right,
was
right.
saying earlier. Producers kind of was in that conversation when now they've done. Now it's like a whole war.
Shout out to the people, the lighting people who know what I'm saying.
Gaffers. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, we start
You
getting
can
into
open
that.
up a
That's
can
a
of
whole.
worms.
That's a whole
That's what I'm
nother
saying.
The
Like,
shotgun mic holders, man. for real.
PAs.
The bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
Bodyguards get more
That
famous
nigga
than the
better
artists.
Not, I
at
about to
this
say
point.
that nigga better not be underappreciated.
Them niggas get more famous. Like shit, somebody bodyguard got a whole Instagram page, man. He lit.
No, there's a few.
I'm
Like
saying.
a few big artists off the top of my head who's
You know the bodyguard when you see them.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, what
That's
else we got?
crazy.
You had some more?
That's it. We really at an hour 50.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
Man,
That's
Well.
it. You don't have no more topics?
listen, man. Stay locked in. I don't know.
Ah.
I thought I had something.
Stay consistent. Stay creative. And stay present.
Yeah, this is a horrible ending. So
Don't you ever.
he like that. He want to argue one more time.
You feel me? And I got it for him. Don't
What you got,
ever
Big? Let's do it.
what?
degrade my outro like that.
Let us.
I told them
Let us
folks
know
stay
how-
consistent,
Look.
stay creative, and
I
stay
just
present.
Trayvick,
And Trayvick said,
Yeah, this is a horrible ending. So,
tell us
I need
more
you to
about how
turn it up.
keyboards aren't important.
Keyboards.
Tell us more about the person who made FL Studio is unimportant.
Hey, the band, the live bands. You know what I'm saying?
oh, they definitely are underappreciated.
I think they get appreciation
No.
when they use,
I agree with Trayvick.
Nope.
bro. Niggas gonna shout out their band.
But do anybody
Really,
know?
it comes down to what you asked. Underappreciated by who? That was the main question.
Yeah, that
right
was the
there.
main thing.
But I think the live band is appreciated. Cause you live. Like, bro, like I just went to a concert the other night and it was like some it wasn't like real artists. It was almost like a karaoke thing. But it was live band. But it wouldn't have even been hitting if the band, I'm like, dang, the background singers is going crazy. And the drum, like everybody's rocking because the drum is rocking.
That
You
may
know what
not
I'm
be
saying?
appreciated so much outside of the people attending that live
You know what I'm saying? Because
Maybe it's silent appreciation.
show. Because no, the people there at the show are for sure gonna show appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, the band doesn't get much love, I feel. Unless the band is like a super big
I
band.
mean,
on its
unless
own,
they stay
their
with the
own thing.
artist, like they get the gratitude, and then the artist most of the time will shout out the band and have a little breakdown. Like I think bands are
they
appreciated.
don't get enough, but they are in some regards. But what I will ask y'all before we get out of here, right? It,
I just didn't know it was coming. Pause.
so what, in regards to staying locked in for, the upcoming, things that we all talked about at the beginning, what is something that you plan on doing to help yourself stay locked in?
Hold on, what upcoming things?
Whatever you got going on. We
Oh,
What
how
we
do we
brought up.
basically how do we plan
yeah,
to stay
yeah,
locked
you
in?
know what I'm saying? Like anything that you
I mean,
feel like you need to rework or
I never plan on not staying like that.
obviously, but I'm saying how.
Shit, by continue to do the same shit I'm doing, and adding more to do. Always growing, always grinding, thinking of ways to add and not rework.
It's gonna sound cliche for me. Again, I've said that word so much this pod, but bro, staying present. Cause again, when I get out my body and start thinking of the future, situations that haven't even occurred yet, that's when I start going left. Versus just
Yeah,
being grateful for where I'm at. Like when I can stay in this place, when I can stay present, then it's easy for me to be creative. And it's easy for me to just stay locked in, stay focused, stay cooking, stay at it, stay driven. When I start thinking of what I could have did and it didn't happen yet, or what I should have did, or what may happen in the future if this happens, or if this, that's when I start going left.
Okay, so what
So
are
for
what
me-
are the things that, because like, you said it could sound cliche.
Right.
So like someone who hears that clichéness, right?
Right.
What would you say to them? The things that help you stay present.
Man, that was a real one. What helps me stay present?
Or what do you plan to do to help you stay
Wow,
present?
that was a crazy question. What helps me stay present? It depends on how deep we want to take this convo as we're closing. Cause, for me, bro, you know, being mortal. Honestly, I mean, we're immortal, but you know, mortality keeps me present. Honestly, yeah, it's kind of loaded, bro. You know, certain situations that I've been through, y'all know this, like personal stuff. It keeps me present. Yeah, mortality is one of the biggest ones, believe it or not. Just knowing that, you know, we all have a date, whatever that date is, for us to transcend. That quite often brings me back down, keeps me grounded, and makes me look at my decisions and like you know, just making sure that I'm moving with intent. Like those are things that I feel like keep me present a lot.
Okay.
Can I add on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So a person who is having issues of staying present and getting trapped in their mind. So the first thing, like you said something about thinking, like when you think about this, think about, so that's the main thing about being present. Like if you present, you're not really thinking, you here, you in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like if you balling, you hooping, you're not really thinking about bouncing up. You in the moment, you vibing. So being present is just being out here in the world.
Thought of that.
You know what I'm saying? Just being here. And you realize when you think or you overthinking, you're not present. But the easiest way, I feel like, to be present without even bringing up meditation and grounding yourself and things like that, but without even doing any of that, is by action. The best way to overcome overthinking is by action. The best way to overcome not being present is by being active. Because if you notice, if you're not present, you're probably not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? The thing that you're doing is in your head. You thinking about some shit, about what you ain't did, what you should have did, but you ain't doing nothing. But if you get up, sweep the floor. You know what I'm saying? Why? Like, it ain't even gotta be an action towards music. It's just like, that's what I mean by like just the like you ain't even gotta change some things. Just practicing being present, doing everything while you driving your car. Don't look in your phone while you driving. Look on the road, drive. Don't listen to no music, just drive. Be the driver. Don't think about, damn, what I'm gonna eat. Nope, that shit gonna come later. Be present. So the best way to stay present is by practicing being present at all times. And I feel like that's action. And every single thing we do is an action. Like we walk to the door. You don't gotta think about walking to the door. You don't gotta think about moving your hand. Like you don't have to think about anything. So that's, to me, the best way for a person to stay present and stay, what was the topic? Stay
stay present and stay locked in.
Yeah, stay locked in is to stay actively doing something. You know what I'm saying? It's when we doing nothing. It's when we not present, when we not locked in. We laying down, I'm gonna do it later. Or we in our heads and things like that. Like that's when we ain't present. So in a whole nother scale, like maybe one day we have an episode about the power of meditation, which will really kill. So, because sometimes it's hard, like people be having a lot of shit going on in their head, but you gotta be able to silence those thoughts and get to the center where things are clear and presently here. Because as human beings, all we gotta do is just be, but we all make it so hard because of everything that we think we need to think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with those things.
That was a great one, man.
Nah, for real.
Great question towards the end there.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to close it off in a great way, man. You know, I think that's a good exit point. Thanks for joining us.
What It Takes pod, man.
You know
the
what
most
I'm saying?
informative. Are we doing that? The most informative, coolest, influential, community-driven
journey you could ever watch.
Journey you could ever be a part of.
Be a part of. My bad, yo. Because you got to be doing what it takes, too, as you see.
They're literally on this journey with us.
You know what I'm saying? So, what you gonna do when it get to taking?
Cut. You could cut that part.
Peace to the guys. We love y'all. Peace to the God. Factual. What it takes.